I remember when I fell in love with high-speed rock running. It was at the school that I grew up at, my primary school, and surrounding the playground was this rock wall. And I fell in love with just running on it. You know, all of the other kids were playing on the playground, but me and my buddy Alex, we were running on this rock wall. And I made it a challenge to become the fastest kid at that school to traverse that rock wall from end to end. And I mastered that rock wall. I just loved the kind of flow of, you know, bouncing from this rock to the next, but making it swift, you know. And I found that it's kind of like a high consequence thing, you know. If you trip up, you fall, maybe break a bone or graze your neck, or even worse, you know, graze your face rather. And I fell in love with it. It was so fun, and I mastered it. And not once did I trip, you know, and I became very fast. And I'll tell you what, it was actually one of the first YouTube videos I ever made with my buddy Alex. You know what I said to him one day? I said, Alex, let's start making YouTube videos. And I made we made one or two silly ones, and then I had the idea like, oh, why don't we film this like rock running challenge video? And so we went to the school and we just ran this rock wall. We sprinted it, you know, and I did my record pace, and it was great fun. And that's when I kind of fell in love with high speed rock running, you know. And there was another time, like the first overnight hike I did, it was at this beautiful river. We were camping at this river, and I found that this river had these perfect boulders, rocks, you know, situated up the river. And this was the next encounter I had with high-speed rock running. And so I started just running on these rocks up the river. And my dad was like, hey Josh, don't go too far. And boy, I went far. I just kept going up the river, just bouncing from rock to rock, but trying to be very swift with it. And I found back then as a kid, you know, it's just what kids do. It's what you do as a kid. You just run around and jump around on things, right? And I did that with these rocks, and I found that it was so much fun because it's such a challenge, you know. You have to place your feet correctly. It's like balance. It's a bit of parkour. It's like parkour mixed with running, right? And it's just so fun, you know. And in the past 5 years, I've got well into trail running. You know, I love trail running. And I'm telling this story because I've just come down from this trail here to a lake called Lake Marion in Fiordland in New Zealand. And it's a fair, decent hike up, you know, in terms of like the challenge. You have to like scramble up some roots and like rocks. And I was thinking, gosh, this is going to be fun to run down. It's going to be a good challenge. And so, you know, the lake was incredible. I'll put a little clip here. And, you know, I'm like, all right, time to run down. And so I make my way down. And I'll tell you what, I can't even hike down these trails. I just can't. Like, my body just wants to move swiftly, just naturally. And so I start running, right? And I'm like, oh, wait, that wind is pretty bad. No, it's not that bad. It's just wind. And so I'm running, you know, and this was the biggest challenge yet, you know. And I'm you know, there's gnarled roots and rocks, and the path, the track is like all over the place. And I'm like, you know, you have to really place your feet correctly. If you place your feet not like in a really bad spot, then you'll either go flying forward, like stumbling forward, or you'll roll your ankle, which is definitely a bad thing on the trail, right? And so it requires a high degree of flow state. You got to be in a flow state, right? Because you activate the flow state when there's like a bit of challenge and risk and consequence, and when it's kind of in your wheelhouse and capability, you know. You got to balance those things, and you're going to get into a flow state. And a flow state is required when you're doing this kind of like high consequence, swift descent trail running. It's so fun. I love it, eh? It's so thrilling, you know. It's so thrilling. And I'll tell you what, I was just near the end, and there was this particularly tricky bit, you know. And so I jumped there, I put my left foot there, my right foot there, my left foot there. It was like a left, right, left kind of do, like Prince of Persia style do. And then I put my right foot down on the ground down there, and guess what happens? My foot, it goes like this into the ground, and I can feel my ankle rolling. my right ankle was rolling, but then suddenly it just corrects itself. It just corrects itself. There was no way I should have come out off that moment scot-free. It was like a bit of pain in the moment. I was like, oh shoot, I was limping. I'm like, gosh, I need to slow down. And I took a seat on the rocks, but it just recovered within a minute and it was just fine again. And I just kept going. And I've gained some experience now. I've gained some XP in trail running, in particular this rock running style. And I just think that it's just one of my niche little hobbies that I got, you know, swift rock running. It's something I've always been doing since I was a kid, since that, you know, playground back where I grew up. And it's just so fun. And there was one particular trail I did when I had this thought in my head. I said, when I navigate this track, when I successfully complete this trail scot-free, I'm gonna gain quick feet. I call it quick feet. It's like a kind of like a boon. If you played video games, you know what I mean, right? You get these abilities and skills and boons. And when I completed that trail in my head, I was like, okay, I've got quick feet now. And so it's kind of like the skill that I have. This is like boon when I'm on the trail. It's like, oh, it's all good. I got quick feet. And it's just my feet are quick. They know how to act. They know how to land. And it's like, it's so fun, you know. And that's just another example of like gamifying life and making it more adventurous. You know, I got quick feet. It's one of my boons. And I activated quick feet just now so that I didn't roll my ankle. But don't worry, I'm not pressing my luck. Like I didn't push it, you know. I walked the rest. I didn't actually run the rest because I was like, I don't want to push this. So don't worry, I am careful out there, and I'm still aware of the risks, you know. And I do still balance it with taking precaution. I don't completely hurl myself down the track. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to share with that story. Good luck. I'll see ya.